Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We got some pretty interesting news today on the 2XKO front. And 2XKO, in case you're unaware, is sort of coming out soon. It is, but it isn't. It's in perpetual beta starting September the 9th. And then it'll just be beta until one day it's eventually 1.0. So, sort out, but not really. But anyways, that's not the news. What is the news is 2XKO sort of, I don't want to say accidentally, because it's certainly by design, but sort of just became like the most pro-consumer fighting game ever made. Like, hey, this is a free-to-play game, right? They're going to monetize the hell out of the game. They're going to sell you every possible skin under the sun. And if you're someone like me, you're going to be a sucker and you're going to buy most of them. And ideally, it's people like me that'll pay for everybody else. That's usually how the whale model works, right? But yeah, so free-to-play game. We all know how that works, but a free-to-play game, you know, kind of has to be online. And fighting games, by definition, especially in a competitive setting, usually cannot be online. No, we need offline for tournaments. It could be big scale like EVO, or it could be like your 8-person local. It doesn't matter, but we can't always be online. And they have now made provisions for that. They made a post today, among other posts, like doing an official character stats show-off thing for the various characters that are going to be in the beta going forward. The only thing to note is, one, Braum has more points than everyone else, therefore he's the best character. And also for easy use, it has Echo and Ilaoi as like 3 out of 5. I think they're more complex than the rest of the cast, and by a good amount. Echo just for the sheer amount of stuff he can do, and Ilaoi like plays just a very different kind of game. But if that's considered 3 out of 5 to Riot, I would like to see what they consider a difficult character, if those only rate as average compared to whatever they have in store. So anyways, the future will reveal that in time. But offline mode now, they put out this statement, just sort of running through everything that offline mode has to offer. And the thing about that, similar to other fighting games, offline mode has training mode, local versus, you know, just standard 1v1 offline. All characters, champions as their branding, are available by default. Any unlocked costumes like skins are also accessible in offline. That being said, the following features are only displayed in online mode. Casual, ranked, like of course ranked, right? Like how are you gonna play ranked offline, right? Private lobbies. So hey, the online features don't work offline, shocker. And stuff like battle pass progression doesn't work if you're offline, and fair enough. And obviously the shop doesn't work if you're offline, fair enough. But that's the big one out of the gate. So if you're offline, and there's a million myriad reasons to be offline, all characters are unlocked. All of them. And you have training mode, and you have regular offline, you know, 1v1 versus. Or maybe 2v2 if you have multiple people, because, you know, 2XKO after all, right? So here's the thing. You know, that's not how other fighting games work. Is this a free-to-play game? It sure is, and they'll be doing their damnedest to part you from your money, I'm very sure. And be it skins or other features or whatever, right? And if every character is available for training mode offline, and yes, we don't have, I know, there's the drama, there's not many characters right now. This game's supposed to be around for 10 plus years. I'm sure when we're some years down the line, there's going to be more characters you can shake a stick at. So if every character works offline, that's actually kind of a damn sight better than how every other fighting game currently does it. Because every other fighting game, online or off, it doesn't matter. If you didn't buy that DLC, you ain't playing them in training mode. And yes, I know there's like the ticket system in Street Fighter 6, which helps alleviate that a bit, I suppose. But that's generally the flow of things. You'll get to play everyone on the base roster, sure, but, you know, fighting games are out for a very long time. We're not on, you know, a yearly model like Call of Duty. So if you don't have, you know, the characters from year 3 or year 4 or year 5 or whatever as DLC, if you didn't pay money for them, you do not get to play them in training mode or any kind of versus, let alone offline versus. So that alleviates all, like, one of the biggest problems of fighting games. And like, the model we have isn't bad, and honestly, it's probably better than most comparable models you can think of. But, you know, it's always been the issue of how do I practice against the character if I'm going to a local or whatever, but I don't want to spend the XYZ amount of money on the character. And if you don't want to spend the money, well, you're SOL. Of course, the argument can be made if you're going to tournaments and all that, why aren't you spending like the $5 to $8 on a character? But whatever, that's bigger than this video. But yeah, so the 2XKO model is simply going to be, yo, you get everybody forever. I guess you would have to update the game eventually, like if there's a patch or something. You can't just stay in offline mode forever after a DLC comes out. You need to download them. But otherwise, if you're in offline mode for a tournament, for a local, for just having fun with your friends, everyone will be available. And that, simply put, is very consumer friendly. You will get to try before you buy, as you will. Maybe you won't get progress to whatever sick battle pass skins or whatever, and you'll only have access to the skins you've already unlocked, which is completely fair as far as I'm concerned. I don't think you should get also every skin for free offline as well. That'd be kind of weird, especially in a game where the primary monetization is almost assuredly going to be cosmetics, right? But yeah, I saw this news and I'm like, wow, they did it. I don't know, I guess, what I was expecting for their solution for this, but just giving you everything without like any consequence or any amount of money spent maybe wasn't what I thought it was going to be for a free-to-play game. So theoretically, you can just kind of play 2XKO forever without ever having to spend a dime on it for potentially years and years and years. Now, will you have to pay for characters to play them online in ranked? That might be a different story. There might be an earnable currency, a premium currency. Don't know what they're doing with that just yet. But as far as like purely offline goes, you effectively get everyone free forever and can play free forever as per the rules they are themselves putting out. And that's a pretty all right deal. Like, you know, there's been so much made of 2XKO versus Tokon just because, you know, they're similar and, like, the comparisons are sort of unavoidable, I suppose. And rest assured, you ain't going to be playing Tokon for free. You'll be giving Papa Arxis and Papa Sony their taste. They'll get their cut out of you. And, you know, maybe this is a long-term conversion plan. Maybe, you know, you take advantage of the deal, you play with all characters offline for free for quite some time, and then eventually we get like a Dunkmaster Darius skin, then like, oh, now you can't wait anymore. You're finally in the ecosystem, you gotta buy that one, right? And then they get you. I'm very sure, regardless of whatever your plans to spend as little money as possible are, Riot's plans are to maximize their earnings off your back. They're pretty all right at this whole free-to-play business model. They've proven their worth on the matter. And so I just figured this was newsworthy because, like, frankly, good on Riot. This is a pro-consumer move. This is a pro-FGC move. FGC is always very concerned about offline events because you can't just run everything online. Maybe the day will come where that finally happens, but it ain't anywhere in the near future for us. Lord knows, forcing always online has been tried on us. If you remember, like, the early Street Fighter V days, like, tournaments being disrupted because you lose connection to the Street Fighter V servers in the middle of a match, and it kills your match in the middle of a tournament match. And I don't know, that we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. But yeah, so hey, 2XKO beta real soon. Once again, September the 9th. It'll be rolling till start. I'm sure there'll be plenty of changes. You know, I mentioned when they showed off Vi, hey, I played Vi like 2 years ago. And I am allowed to say there's still some stuff I saw from 2 years ago that has not made the light of day to the public. So I'm looking forward to that being in a very more finished state than some of the stuff I saw, because some of the stuff I saw was very unfinished. And just getting out into the hands of the public at large. And as we get to the ever golden version 1.0, hopefully some of that other content will show its face. And once again, 1.0 is supposed to be this year. Given that beta September, I'm assuming they're going to wait till like the day after Christmas or something to launch it for 1.0. But, you know, that would still count as keeping their promise otherwise. But yeah, I just thought it was a cool update. Very cool of Riot to be this open when other companies might not have been, to be frank with you. And I'm just looking forward to the beta launch September 9th, and there'll be more coverage on the channel come the time, so look forward to that. And otherwise, that's it for the video. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some 2XKO.